Okay, Ed, you're our veteran.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please stay standing. Dear Lord, thank you for bringing us all together tonight. And above all, thank you, God, for blessing Bob Davis and healing his leg and making it heal better. Now, Lord, guide us with your wisdom. In the Lord's name we pray, amen.
Okay, could have roll call, please.
Yes, Addison.
Here.
Linda Garrett. Present. Ed Brightfield.
Here.
John Beamer.
Present.
Lori Fisher. Present. Bennett here. Supervisor Pearson.
Here, all accounted for. Any announcements? Any petitions? Department reports as usual, available in my office. Please contact me. Approval of the agenda.
I'd like to request an addition. It would be as number 8, committee appointments for 3-year terms. And with that, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Not hearing any? Can we have roll call on that, please?
John Beamer.
Aye.
Erickson.
Aye.
Linda Garrett. Yes. Lori Fisher.
Yes.
Ed Brightfield.
Yes.
Bennett, yes. Supervisor Pearson.
Yes, okay. Move on to consent agenda.
Yes, only 2 items on the consent agenda this evening. July 20th, 2015 minutes, and the bills as paid for July 2015.
I have a question.
Yes.
Since I'm Linda's agent, I'd like to ask Lori a question on the page 1 of the budget report. Going down to real property taxes, we budgeted 311 change, and it looks like we've got so far this year 419 and change. Can you explain that?
What are we talking?
Only about
He's
the
talking
line
about the
down.
reports that were issued. It's
On
not
the
part
first
of-
page.
It's not part of the consent.
Oh, it isn't part of the consent?
No, it's part of the report, so that's okay.
Okay.
Bruce is just looking.
Well,
It was right.
I don't understand what the question is, though. Where are
Well,
you
you're
making
looking
that?
right here.
Right here.
Okay.
It looks like we got it one fall.
We did. If I remember right, is that to do with Enbridge by any chance? Or not?
I would like to go through and double check those
Okay.
numbers.
That was going to be expected anyway. We weren't expecting you to come up with an answer.
Well, normally I'd like to have that answer, but there was an issue this year. Our auditor let us know that we had done something that she would like us not to do. It's just the way that these are entered in the past. So I'm concerned that I may have something double entered for this year.
She would like us not to pay Ed, is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Yes,
That was
That
just,
would never $100,000 right out of there, wouldn't it? That balance it out.
just the way the journal entry had been done. So before I said yes, that was actually our money. I had to just go and double check that I don't have anything in there twice.
I did bring up with Lori, because at the Oakland County Supervisors meeting, it was brought up that Enbridge, we're now seeing the huge increase. Ours was it 57 million?
Our property values in total went up about $52 million this year.
Which was huge, which means if you take 20 or half of that, and you add the millage for the fire and the police, it added an awful lot to the department, which we were running a little bit short now, kind of filled that in. Brandon Township was in the same situation. Theirs was just slightly more than ours, and they were very happy with that, so maybe that's...
So our revenue from real property tax is going to increase in the next budget? We'll have more revenue, is that?
Well, probably not the next budget necessarily. We realized the increase this year. Now when we budget, we start budgeting in November, December. We wouldn't have known that our taxable value was going to go up by $51 million.
Until 2016?
Well, no, that would have happened then this year, in 2015.
With this assessment?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Not hearing any, could we have roll call, please?
Erickson.
Yes.
Ed Brightfield.
Yes.
Linda Garrett.
Yes.
John Beamer.
Aye.
Lori Fisher.
Yes.
Bennett, yes. Supervisor Pearson.
Yes. Okay, item number 2, public hearing resolution for the special assessment district Oak Trail and Piney Oaks. We received a petition prepared for the purpose of defraying the maintenance costs on the private road known as Piney Oaks. We received the amended petition as requested by the board, and all is in order now. The public petition for the SAD includes the maintenance that may be included for snow removal, seal coating, crack filling, salt sanding, with a 5% collection fee. This is the second and final public hearing for the establishment of the SAD. The petition was signed by more than 50% of the homeowners and with 50% of the road frontage. The SAD is requested for the amount of $150 per parcel for the next 5 years to cover the maintenance. I'd like to open up the public hearing right now. We'll say it is 7:35. 7:35. If anybody has anything to say about the public hearing for this SAD, please come forward. Anybody has anything to say? Anybody has anything to say? Okay, I'd like to close the meeting at 7:36. By passing this resolution, this authorizes the supervisor to put this on the tax rolls. We need a motion on that?
I'll make a motion.
I can second that. Can we second it? Anybody have any discussion on it? If not, can we have a roll call on that, please?
Linda Garrett.
Yes.
John Beamer.
Aye.
Eric Send.
Yes.
Ed Brightfield.
Yes.
Lori Fisher.
Yes.
Bennett, yes. Supervisor Pearson.
Yes, the resolution is so moved. Item number 3 is a public hearing resolution for special assessment district for H. Eddy Drive. We received a petition for the defraying the maintenance costs on H. Eddy Drive. This includes road maintenance, grading, chlorating with a 5% collection fee. 50% of the homeowners did sign the petition. This is in the amount of $240 per parcel for the next 5 years to cover all of the maintenance issues with the 5% collection fee for the township. The SAD for H. Eddy was properly noticed for the public hearing by publishing in the Oxford Leader, and the notice was mailed by first-class mail to each owner on the SAD. So I'd like to open up this hearing at 7:38. If anybody has anything to say on the SAD for H. Eddy, if anybody has anything to say for the SAD on H. Eddy, please come forward. Not hearing anything, I'd like to close that hearing at 7:39. By passing this resolution, the board authorizes the supervisor to establish the tax roll for H. Eddy. Anybody like to make a resolution on that?
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Who made the resolution?
I'll make the motion.
And I'll second.
Any further discussion? Not hearing any further, roll call on that, please.
John Beamer.
Aye.
Ed Brightfield.
Yes.
Linda Garrett.
Yes.
Eric Send.
Yes.
Lori Fisher.
Yes.
Bennett, yes. Supervisor Pearson.
Yes. Okay, where are we at now? Number 4. That's the resolution authorizing the 2015 millage rates and the SADs. The resolution, of course, is self-explanatory, and this is what we use for the L402.9 form. This reflects, and if you notice on column 9, these are all the rates, and if you notice on column 11, these are the ones that we adopt, which are the exact same. The SADs that were previously approved by the board, they're on there also. And anyways, this is the millage rate for 2015.
I'll move the resolution authorizing the 215 millage rates and a special assessment district.
I'll second.
We have any discussion? Not hearing, we have roll call on that, please.
John Beamer.
Aye.
Eric Send.
Yes.
Linda Garrett.
Sorry, there's a white Malibu out there with the lights on.
Malibu? Well, thank you. That must be yours, huh? I got jumper cables, sit down.
I'll remember that.
Okay.
Linda, would you respond?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ed Brightfield.
Yes.
Lori Fisher.
Yes.
Bennett, yes. Supervisor Pearson.
Yes. Okay, resolution is so moved.
John Beamer. I knew I was missing one with
John
John
Beamer.
Beamer. Thank you.
Okay, resolution is so moved. Item number 5, resolution authorizing employment services. We found that, it's a little bit difficult sometimes to get employees, especially part-time employees or whatever. And we did come up with a solution, which is by using a temporary employment service. We've had a couple that came in and explained to us that by using them, they're the employees of the temporary service. They pay the insurance, they pay the Social Security, they pay everything, and we pay a flat price. And they bring us in competent people to do the job, and if we like them, then they do stay there, okay? And if we want to, maybe at a later time, there may be a fee if we want them as a full-time person. But we've put ads out in the paper here recently, and we've got very few responses. It's very hard to find people. So this is another choice that for us to use, and we're just asking the board if you would be amenable to allow us to use like Kelly Services or another service like that to help us get part-time people or any person of employment. But yes.
Okay, is this something that, let's say we agree and everything's good, that you would have to send out for bid, or is it just something that you would contract out? Is it?
This would be a professional service. If the board wanted to put this out for bid, I would prefer that we do it prior to us meeting a company, only because the whole purpose of trying to get this done now is we have 2 part-timers who are actively, with regrets, looking for a full-time position.
Okay.
And so I'm looking for something to be in place in case we do have a vacancy. We're at our bare minimum as it stands now, so I need something to use in case we need to. If we do know of somebody, then we won't have to use this company. But the past year and a half, when we had to bring in part-timers, it was very difficult.
So if we approve the administration to go get contract services, you go out and get a bid, and you like them, they're a contract service, so they do not have to rebid as long as their price stays the same, correct?
That's up to the board. I did solicit 3 bids. It wasn't under seal bid, but I was curious to find out how much these were going to come in at. If the board determines to go with Kelly Services and we tie, let's say, to this price, then yeah, we can use this firm until this price
Till the price
changes, and then we have to bring it back to the board and say they've increased their rates. The rates that were given to me were based on the entry-level position. So the rate is based on that 11, I think I sent you that second page of the resolution because of that.
Would that have to come back to this board once a year, Bruce, as a contract service, or just as long as that rate stays the
As
same?
long as it stays the same, we'll just continue to use it. And we bring it back to the board anyhow, because if the rate changes, well, we do want the most competent and cheapest.
How does that tie in?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. How does that tie in with our wage resolution?
Well, we would be paying the service, we would not be paying the employee, and that's another benefit because they pay off of Social Security, they pay the workers' comp. One company actually pairs part-timers and then their employee is actually full-time, so they're actually getting benefits. So it's a good thing for the employee. What I did when I asked these people for a bid is I said our starting wage was, what was that resolution at?
For administrative assistant,
No, part-time clerical was $11.70. So I said, that's what I want to pay this person, and then what's your fees? So the price is the current fees that they gave us, just a rough guess on, was at $11.70, and then their fees are included in what they're showing us.
How does that compare to, I think, if I get Linda's question correctly, how does that compare to the burden we have paying somebody $11.70 plus Social Security plus anything else? That's what I got out of it. I don't want to continue. I'm curious in that.
You would
I
have
thought
to
that's what
add
it is.
that up. So currently, a part-timer is paid 3% for the retirement, so there's 3% there. Social Security is 7.5. And then workers' comp was about the only one that I couldn't figure out. I think workers' comp for clerical is inexpensive. Of course, we don't pay health care, but how some of these are doing it, this person actually is able to obtain health care, which is good. And as far as budget goes, we scheduled an extra day in our budget, and I went through our budget based on that report, and the categories for clerical are under budget at this time. The category for deputy clerk is under budget at this time. So there probably wouldn't need to be a budget amendment if we used it during this budget year. And then, I mean, we might not even use it this year, but I'm after that option being there if one of these ladies has to go full-time elsewhere.
No, yeah, if I can join in here, I agree with John and you know, the comments about the comparison, what we're paying before, the total cost compared to this. Yeah, how do we know we're doing better, like, or, you know, how much it's gonna cost us there?
Oh, correct. I heard 10% approximately on top of 1170.
Well, that's also presuming that the person's making 1170 in their first year, because they could be making 1372. So I think this,
But the basis was 1172. I don't know. if
No,
the
because they're not
slides-
our employees, so we don't have to do the slide.
Yeah.
We could increase it if we wanted to. They're not our employees. It is an independent contractor employee that's paying all of their benefits.
But would result in that increase going through the agency.
Yeah, so
just straight out
currently
of
we're doing
pocket.
1170, and this
That's
one
fine.
is 1699 to 1773, so that you can see the difference there.
One thing, the other comment I was gonna make, in my professional life, I dealt with Kelly quite a bit and things like that. Depending on what the job is, especially on the low end of the pay scale, there's large turnover. Even with companies like Kelly, they, you know, you won't get that information up front, but I experienced that. I just want to make sure, you know, that that's something to think about.
Well, we're just looking at this as an option because we're finding it harder and harder to get people to apply. I mean, we can always still put an ad in the paper, but we're just not getting.
Well, 1170 is not too attractive. You can make, so, you know,
Well, for part-time.
part-time, it is competitive.
Well, you know, a lot of times we get retirees who have full benefits. They only want to work 2 days a week or maybe 3. And to them, it's attractive. But no, if you're trying to support a household on that.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's not meant for that. I realize that, yeah.
And it's just a shame that we can't find somebody in the community that needs a job.
Yeah.
Well, this is just an option. Like we said, it's just another tool in our bag if we need to use it. We can always put the ad out first, but if we can't get somebody, and the good thing is that once you get Kelly Services in here and say we do get a good employee, there is the option that they can stay and work for us, and we can take them.
But I'm also
Take them
looking
out.
at the savings way too, because we used to have 2 full-time employees and now we have 2 part-times because we didn't replace full-time. So, and that's kind of where I'm going, is if somebody leaves, I do need to find somebody quickly that can come in running and know some of the office intricacies, because the last time we advertised for the building and then also part-time in my office, no one came forward for my office. And she was an election inspector. I actually called her and said, "Are you still living?" It's really hard to find somebody, and I can't lose any more bodies.
Is it possible that we could have the Kelly person or whichever Snelling, whoever we pick, come in immediately and still try to advertise and find somebody local?
They have, and I think I talked to this one the most, but I think they all offer the same. You can basically say whatever you want to do. You want somebody right now, you only want it for 2 weeks, fine, great. You want somebody to try out for 6 months, fine, great. So they're willing to work with you as far as what your needs are. But they just want to know up front what you want to do.
I've got a follow-up on Linda's question. If we hired Kelly or Snelling or whoever,
Whatever.
and they're now our contractor, does that eliminate us from hiring our own part-time person?
Just
That's what you know, that,
No, I
she
said
didn't
I
say
would
that.
like to see
That-
if we were to use a temporary person to continue to pursue trying to find somebody
Right.
local.
But
You
I
could hire
understood you
that
saying,
person, but then that would be a buyout, or we can say we want your service for 30 days while we actively look. So we can have something for 30 days. They just want to know how to staff the person we're requesting for.
and you made a statement, we could do a buyout. What does that explain?
If you, let's say if we tried somebody and we really liked them,
Right.
and they liked us, you could either keep that person under this company for so long, and then you didn't have to even buy them out. Or if you really like the person, since they find it, they charge like a finder's fee.
Yeah, it's a finder's fee, really. It's not really a buyout, it's a finder's
What
fee.
kind of finder's fee do they charge?
I didn't even get into that.
Just curious,
I mean, in this one contract, there might be some wording to it. I didn't really get into it, and after so many hours, there's no finder's fee. So if you really like somebody, you can just keep them for that long. So I thought that was an interesting option.
Is this something we have to move on tonight? Or
We
can we
don't
just
have to,
think
but
about it?
I'm hoping that we keep our employees.
Well,
I have 4 elections next year. I can't do it with just, I'm barely going forward with what I have now.
Right now, the township is saving a lot of money on the part-time people, and it's been working out good. We don't pay benefits and everything like that. A lot of people come with benefits as retirees. That's the great thing about it. Right now, we aren't looking for anybody. We're just trying to get this set in the advance in case we have to. Because like we said, we do have employees that are looking for full-time employment, and they have been putting out resumes, and they may leave us at any time. And we're just looking at something that we can use as a tool, of course.
I agree.
I
We need to
received
be
a
covered.
2-week notice, but she changed her mind.
I
And that's
agree
why
with
I'm
you.
doing this. I need that option in case there's nobody to step up to the plate.
Based on the ones that you have been working with and looking at, which program seemed to be the best?
I'm going only on price. All of them that I worked with seem very nice, seem very capable. One of them said they don't hire clerical staff at all. But the quotes that I received, and they were all based on that 1170, Kelly Services was the lowest fee. So I'm only basing it on the price.
Right, I saw
And I
that.
told
I didn't
each
know-
company not to spend tons of time in this because I don't even know if we'll use them this year. So I said, don't do tons of time because time is valuable, but I just need to know what your hourly rate's going to be for 1170, and that's what they did.
No, I think we do definitely need to make sure everything's covered. I just am disappointed that we can't find somebody, in the community that could use a job. I mean, all we hear about is unemployment, so.
I think they were looking for food.
I got one more comment to make. I agree with the concept, what you're doing, but I just want to be on the record saying that based on what I've seen on those jobs, they have to have a pretty good amount of professional training, like the voting machines and all the software and all that, to run the township. That's something we can't forget here. We
I'm
can't
looking
just
for-
throw a body in here.
Correct,
Okay.
but I'm
This
looking
is
for clerical.
what I would call a fairly sophisticated clerk position that somebody's gonna, I just want to be on the record, make sure that, we're, as you said, that we gotta be covered. We gotta be covered.
Well, I think what Pauline's saying, she's just looking for a clerical at the front desk.
Oh.
Not an election specialist.
Okay.
For the election specialist, I am actually able to pull in some election workers yet, but if some of the front desk people do leave, I need somebody there. I need somebody to help me process all this paperwork to type. Somebody's
Okay,
got to
like
be
a
there.
receptionist type, or a clerk, okay.
They do a lot more than that.
This
though.
isn't, this isn't
I mean, they-
everything.
They do a lot.
I know they do. Yeah. That's why I made that statement.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, just a comment. There's a couple. I guess I'm in favor of relying on what the board says, and I'd be willing to make a motion to let the township move forward with that. But the only other comment too is that maybe as a board, we look at our wage scale as it pertains to that, and maybe that needs some adjustment, because the marketplace is telling us something. If we need a certain caliber of people in here, and consistency and the training that Eric brings up and that we know is needed, maybe we need to revisit that in the not too
Especially the
distant future.
part-timers, because the part-timers are doing a lot of the same thing, but they're way down. It's really hard for me to locate.
Right.
But even when times were tough, when we went through the bad recession, we still found it hard to find people. So I don't know if it's indicative of our wages or just indicative of that people aren't willing.
Well, the federal government will give you a good amount of money not to work.
Now you understand. So I'm trying to
some
say
people are
it's
enticed by
sometimes
that.
cheaper to stay at home than it is to come to work.
John, when you said that you were going to move this resolution, there's 2 blanks. Were we going to fill it in with Kelly Services and then the rate not to exceed 1773?
I didn't read the resolution.
There's 2 whereases where we have to pick a service, and then I think what I was hearing, the board wants to make sure that these prices would come back to them. So I'm thinking maybe name which company we're comfortable with, and then say not to exceed. Kelly Services says $16.99 to $17.73, so not to exceed $17.73.
Yeah, and again, this goes without saying that we visit this at an annual basis with regards to our budgeting. The amounts of this aren't going to spiral out of control.
I'm thinking we can visit the part-time when we do the employee wage.
Right.
We can visit the wages then.
But I'm just saying too, as far as if we
Stock
brought
out.
somebody on, we would be seeing that not only
Yeah.
on a monthly basis, as far as what our
It would be if they
costs are
increase
running,
the
but
price,
we
yes.
can also sort of terminate that if needed, so.
I'll second that, but
I'll
then
support it on both planes.
I need to ask John, in your motion to approve this, and then you added to the motion to review the salaries, or just that? I'm second.
No, I'm not putting that into my motion, I'm just
Okay.
saying, as a matter of record, we see that on a monthly basis in our budget reports, and then we have the option of
Can you
raising it and closing it out at any time, so I would approve the motion.
Now, hold on,
as written with-
second.
And I will say, and we do have the motion and we do have a second. And when it comes back to reviewing the part-time, maybe at a later time, we should look also at, their wages, but maybe also at giving them some vacations or something like that, like the other employees do. So that's something that we're also keep employees part-time that want to stay here, to give them a little incentive, give them a week's vacation or something like that. So that's something that we might want to discuss at a later time. But we do have the motion and we do have a second. Is there any other discussion on those?
The comment you just made, Bruce, would that be part of the motion?
No, that's, I'm just saying that as a caveat after the fact. I'm just saying when you're talking about what can we do for the part-times, that's just a suggestion way around that maybe those things would be beneficial because we don't offer those now. But we do have the motion in the second. Is there any other discussion on those? If not, can we have roll call on that, please?
Lydia Garrett,
Yes.
Trustee Rayford,
Yes.
Lori Fisher. Yes. Eric Sen,
No.
John Beamer,
Aye.
Lori Fisher, I'm sorry, Bennett, yes, Supervisor Pearson.
Yes. Okay, the motion has passed. The resolution was forwarded. Number 6, Fire Department. Oh, the chief again. Oh, I haven't seen you for a week. That's right, you were on vacation last night.
A little while.
Okay. Waive the purchasing ordinance 2-196, authorizing the sale of 2005 Ford F-350. There you go. Brush truck through eBay Motors. We've done very well through eBay. The chief has sold other things through there. What you're asking us to do is to waive the purchasing ordinance so that we can dispose of the surplus truck. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you think you're going to put I see a reserve of $7,000 on it, and it costs you $125 to do that?
Yes.
If we sell the vehicle, it'll cost $125.
And right now, trucks are hot, okay, so this is a good pickup truck, right?
Yes.
It's
You
a
gotta
hot
say
truck.
that, okay? If you're gonna sell it, you gotta say yes.
Spin it around there, so
It's a Ford.
Yeah. So anybody have any questions on that?
I do. What other avenues have you looked at? I mean, I know you've sold a lot of surplus vehicles.
Well, it is a pickup truck. It can be used in the regular market. It does have a few issues with the dash and the things that we've mounted in the vehicle. A hole in the, 2 holes in the top for the antenna and things like that. But to move out in a sealed bid the proper way the township ordinance sets up, we did that a few years ago before I was chief on a few vehicles, and it did not bring as much money as you could get out of those. So we've been very successful with eBay, and I'd like to continue that. So honestly, what we're trying to do is get the biggest bang for your buck, so to speak. We're trying to get as much money as we can for the surplus material the property owned by the township.
And everything works out smoothly the last time you went through?
Yeah, no problem, and it's all secure. The checks coming, things are going. We had sold an old rescue truck here years ago, and it went way underpriced. Way underpriced. The guy is still driving it in Oxford right now, and it should have went double for what we got for it. And that was on the conventional ordinance of sealed bid, get the numbers in, open up, highest bidder gets it. So in a sense, we're doing that auction. It's an auction, and we have so many days. And if we put the reserve in there, we don't have to sell it. We can just bring it back, and we can go from there and put it back on eBay again.
And so how did you assess the value currently at $7,000 per reserve?
Just the market, just looking around and checking out the Ford 350 diesel. Those years aren't as attractive as the later models. So that's about what we're going to get for it.
How many miles?
The miles are low. I think it's only 40-some thousand on the miles, so that's a good thing. There is some rust. There is a snow plow with it that comes with it. But yeah, we've had some issues with turbos and EGR valves and emissions for the diesel engine in those years, which everybody knows on that. Yeah, and that Ford model in that year. Yeah, we've had a few things. So far, we've been good. We've helped that out with additive fuels. Fuel additives for our diesel fuels helped a lot of that stuff. But yeah, it's time. It needs to go. We use it with plowing and things, and we've worked that truck.
I'd like to make a motion to waive the purchasing ordinance section 2-196, disposal of surplus property, as there would be no benefit.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? Not hearing anything, do I have a roll call, please?
John Beamer.
Aye.
Ed Brightfield.
Yes.
Eric Sen.
Yes.
Lynn Garrett. Lori Fisher.
Yes.
Brad Hare. Supervisor Pearson.
Yes, okay, that passes. Where are we at now? The Addison Township Hall renovation or the park?
We need to I make a motion to authorize to sell the 2005 Ford F-350 brush truck through eBay Motors.
I'll second.
Lori?
Any discussion on that? Not hearing any, put a roll call on that, please.
Ed Brightfield.
Yes.
John Beamer.
Aye.
Eric Sen.
Yes.
Lynn Garrett.
Yes.
Lori Fisher.
Yes.
And Supervisor Pearson.
Yes. Okay, now we're on to, are we doing number, we're going to do the renovations next?
Yes.
Okay, and 8 is the park rangers? Wow. David? I see Patrick's here. Why don't you give us a little update real quick on the building, unless you want me to do it.
Well, hopefully you can now begin to envision what the building's going to look like based on the stage of construction. Kind of get a feel for the volume of it, which at this point is pretty good. I'm walking through it. I'm happy with the way it's coming along. We're on schedule. Things are turning out nice. No really big surprises in a bad way.
We got to move that 1 foot in.
I don't know about that. Because they pour tomorrow.
Just to give you guys an update, the steel is up, the corrugated roof is on the back. The first course of block is on. If you notice, the mesh was done on Saturday, with the plastic under it. The cement is supposed to be poured tomorrow if the weather is good. So we are moving along. The walls will go up right after that, the studs and everything.
Some of that's gone in already in the sheriff's area.
Yeah,
so
the sheriff's is
that's
already
taking shape.
done there, yep. And so they are moving forward and kind of on schedule now. So the trusses, Patrick was working on that one. Did we look at trusses?
They were approved out of our office. I'm not sure, I have not talked with Tim recently about the exact schedule on it. It was about 2 to 3 weeks old, so.
When the trusses show up, that will go up on the roof immediately, so we're moving forward.
If you hadn't had a chance to walk out there, I mean, just a real quick snapshot, it'll give you a really good picture of what it's gonna look like internally. Outside, the trusses will make the silhouette of the building. But right now, you can get a good idea of the inside, just walking through.
Patrick did enlighten me that it looks like we're going to get a grant from DTE for the LED lights.
We haven't received the official letter from them acknowledging, but the application was for about $2,300, I believe. And that's basically, we would reserve those funds as soon as we get a letter, which I anticipate any day now, that they'll acknowledge that and say that that's been blessed. So that's a matter of completing the work and then doing a final application to secure funds.
We never had real, if I may, real clear perspective. Is that for the whole building? And then if it is for the whole building, we never saw the whole cost, because I believe what we saw initially was just.
Was the
part of
first
it.
200, but yeah, and but we authorized a certain amount of money for LED lights. And if I can get the grant there, then the good thing about LED is we get our money back from them, okay? If we get the grant through there, then I was going to have them go through the whole building with it because it's the same cost, okay? And then we'll get that money back. And like I said, the LED, the chief, you've proved that to us.
These are all redone and stuff, and it definitely, we've taken advantage of over the last 2 years in phases, over $3,000 we've gotten back from DT.
And what have you saved on electric?
It's going down, it's definitely going down.
So the cost is definitely, it's one that you might pay the money, and if we get the grant here, that will cover us totally doing all the LED lights. So I'm hoping that if that comes through, then we'll do all of the LED lights and get our money back out of it.
And the maintenance is another real plus. The exercise of changing out the lamps is far reduced because of the LED light.
And I did go with Tim, and we went over to our fireman, Elmo. His sister, they own the fireplace place right there in Elmont, and they had the fireplace that we were looking for, and we actually got a bid from them. Tim and I went over there, and then we saved $3,000 alone on the fireplace, just the fireplace unit. So that was a big savings, and we're working on now saving money on the brickwork and also the chimney. So we are going to save a lot of money on the actual fireplace. So, and it is remote control. Pauline doesn't have to light it by hand or anything. So, so we have been working on saving some money. So I think, and then we did have somebody out checking on the phones. What was that? Thumb.
Couple other things.
Thumb alarm?
No, thumb. No, not thumb alarm.
Thumb communications.
Thumb gas communications. And Lori can give you an update on the phones.
There is another gentleman that's, his dad's does phones, so you might want to install them and does the systems.
I
He lives
turned
in the
all my
township?
stuff over to Bruce, so I don't have
Okay.
an update. 'Cause
All right, well, I'll get you hold of somebody.
I'll delegate Lori to handle that. Okay, you'll live there over there, and she would love to look at it for you. Patrick, you have some new colors now?
We have the interior colors. Your staff has done an excellent job in blessing things and making some tweaks and changes. You have, on this side is basically the sheriff's. He picked some colors to go for their suite area, and everything on this side is for the Township Hall. So you're welcome to pass that around. They're all labeled accordingly, so it's kind of self-explanatory. Lori and staff and Pauline and everybody had a good hand in it.
Well, I've announced to everybody I don't do colors, and I don't know anything about carpet except
That's Bubba Baby Blue.
That's it.
that's
I know that.
It's
I
called-
tried to
it's
show that.
No, as he said, it's called
Call me
Bubba
Blue.
Blue.
Bubba Blue.
colorblind, right?
Gee, I hope not. I had a client years ago that didn't work well.
The other thing I got to say for the rest of us here, there's no reason for you to go in the police station unless you've done something
That's
wrong.
right.
So then you would see those cars. So.
Wow.
I'll come, really. Yeah, he's cocky tonight.
It's owned by the township, though, right? They should agree to the paint, the colors.
Well, the good thing that I can tell you is you can always repaint it. And the other thing is the carpet that's in the, are in the offices. The upgrade, there was an upgrade, we wanted to put carpet throughout the whole sheriff's station. That was another extra $1,000. And I just, at this time, I didn't do that. We just went with the regular floor, and as they come in with their boots dirty and everything, I think put the runners down.
Yeah, I wish we wouldn't have done that in our station, in that one area.
Not have
Our
carpet.
community rooms getting on the.
Right, so I think we'll just go with the regular material.
The
that
vinyl
we-
tile
Yeah.
they had for the rest of the
Like, just make it a good vinyl.
Yeah, good.
That's for cover up the
That's what it says.
That's yours or mine?
Yours.
Anything else on the renovation expansion?
I've got a question.
Yes.
Did we ever get a pattern defined for the floor? Do you know how that's gonna look like in the commons area?
For the hard tile.
We
do,
any of the floors.
Well,
Looks like our community room's all solid vinyl.
Everything in the office is the carpet.
It's curved.
Yeah, but offices.
Probably the area you're referring to is the lobby and gallery, and I can bring that at the next meeting. We basically, how would you describe it, a geometric pattern of some,
Simplified geometric pattern.
Whatever.
But you want to see it.
Knew that nobody would do that.
Yeah, we need to,
Patrick, here,
it doesn't show on this.
It's gonna complement the new Star Wars movie. Just so you.
There's a new one coming?
We did
Same cast.
have Lori and Pauline met with myself and Sarah from the office at the furniture company. Oh, no, we did that on Friday. We were able to go through their showroom, see the product. They were able to try out some chairs. We had a kind of quick idea of some color options and things like that. What I have here is a very simplistic way of showing you basically the furniture that is going to be put in place. The shaded, the lightly gray shaded is the furniture system that's being looked at. It's kind of a
And Patrick, you say, just for the record, no man had any input on this furniture at all?
I don't do colors and I don't do
Just for
furniture.
women?
Don't massage
Just for the record, it's done by women, okay.
I think, yeah, yes, exactly. So that everybody's happy, right?
A good answer.
I had thought there was a sofa in front of the fireplace.
There was,
sitting in
and,
the lobby or gallery.
Yes, there was. What we're showing is what the furniture supplier is going to be putting together. The sofa and couches in the community center and the ones out in the lobby. And there was a couple other items, I believe. Oh, this office
Admin lobby.
are going to be basically owner provided. We kind of decided because of the level that they provide, you're talking sofas that are running probably $3,000-$4,000 because they're high-end commercial stuff. And the feeling was basically it probably was overkill for the use and for how they be used.
so the budget money that's in the project is going to be used by the township to make their own selection. At what we believe a better value.
So you're saying we can go to Lazy Boy or something like that and pick our own out with a certain budget?
Correct. So we just moved it out of the contract furniture into township selected furniture.
Bruce, you're not picking it out.
He's not.
There's a really, we only use the ones that are more called the lounge casuals, because you're gonna replace those every 5 or 10 years, or when you feel like it's worn out. The rest of the stuff is more like a life cycle where it's gonna be here for 30+ years until you have damage to it. So it's all steel is what they're looking at, but you're gonna get that lounge type furniture of many different assortments and different options depending where you go.
Our next step there is we're going to be, we've sent them the color scheme that you were presenting tonight. They have that now. They're going to start putting together a palette to a couple of different versions, I believe, so that we can make some selections. The staff, again, Pauline, Lori, whoever, we'll get down and we'll take a look at that. We're going to pick a color scheme. They'll be finalizing the actual systems. based on some of the decisions or some of the things we looked at the other day. We need to tweak it a little bit. We're going to look at the traditional style that you had talked about. I made some reference to that over the phone the other day.
So you're saying Bubba he's colorblind, is that what you're saying, the sergeant is colorblind?
Yeah.
Well, I think that blue you get more confessions.
This copy is for the township, so you can either keep it here or take it over across with the rendering we brought to you
We'll take it
last
over with the
week.
rendering.
Right.
We'll put it on the wall there.
It might be worth just seeing on a bigger scale, even for Bubba to look at it. And it's hard to make a big room choice on the 2 inch.
He's on vacation right now, and I haven't broke the news to him that he's not getting carpet throughout his area there, so.
And a silvery gray paint rather than powder blue.
Gray would be great.
I'll have to have a word with him and see if that's what he wants.
I do, can I still say something? On the furniture you guys pick it out, I hope it's good furniture, it's gonna last. That's what they bought some stuff at the station years ago, and it wasn't good furniture. So my word of advice is get something good that's gonna last a long time, and when you put books on it, it doesn't sag and all that kind of stuff. Some good quality furniture that's gonna last from years to years to years as long as the building.
David says buy the best he can get for $75. Whatever you want.
Wow.
Well, this is good quality, institutional, commercially contracted furniture, so it's good quality, it's got a good lifestyle.
Good.
We'll look at that. Did you have any other office places though that anybody could look at? Do you have any other office places, furniture?
I realize there's a magazine in my office too, that I just didn't get a chance to show you today.
Oh, okay. I mean, you guys, but do you just deal with the one in Novi? Is there any other places around that you deal with?
We work with a lot of different suppliers, and like this one, you can offer just about any, call it category of furniture you want, and many different manufacturers. And the way they operate is they work with you through this design, and they're working on a competitively bid price structure that goes to the county. So they're offering through this process the county competitive pricing they already have in place. That way you're able to work with them and get the best of their knowledge through the refined selections of.
So they're not selling just one product, they can sell several products.
Correct.
He mentioned, when we were there, he mentioned that you're basically buying product for this township hall, for your township offices, as if you were buying for all of Oakland County at once, in millions, because they're buying huge volume because of this county purchasing program. So that's what you're buying through. You get the benefit of that discount, which is apparently pretty substantial.
Anything else? Nothing else? Okay. Let's see, what are we on now? Number 8? Park Committee. The park rangers are, in our township parks, they do this on their own time and everything, and they do call the sheriff's department. They're kind of like the eyes and ears, and all of them are volunteers. What I'm asking is you reappoint Carol Benz, Art Burney, Lou Burney, Marilyn Azzarelli, Chuck Beringian, John Phelan, Tom Vasilic, and Chris Vasilic for 3-year terms. Does anybody have
I'll second it.
any discussion?
I know a lot of those people, so take this in the right vein, but has there ever been any feedback from any people in the township, positive or negative, with regards to our park rangers? I mean, to me, I never hear anything, so that's why I asked.
I know every one of them. And
Well, I can speak, yeah, I'm not.
We do
I'm
have
saying I
good
know them
feedback,
too.
and I would say this, the families do like to see the rangers back there. They feel our park is being used. That's the main thing. The restrooms are all open now. If you go up there lately, you'll see the new trees planted. We're talking, I was just at the park meeting, we're about to move a garage from the Lake George up to behind in the park up on the watershed, and that will be where we'll house the tractor and the equipment. I've had nothing but good stuff to say that I've heard about the Rangers. And the Rangers, I keep emphasizing to them that they're only eyes and ears. They have no authority, they're only eyes and ears. They're not there to yell at people or anything. If they have a problem, they can get on the phone and call the sheriff. The sheriff comes over and they'll handle it. So that's all they do. And the horses are out there all the time, and the people love to see the horses there. And the rangers do have horses. So,
And they do maintain their CPR and first aid.
yes, and they do, you're right.
We do it at the station for them.
That's all good people. Do we have a motion?
I
And a
would
second?
just like to thank Pat and Joe Schnur. It's amazing.
They are
This
Yeah.
the work that they've done.
Sure.
Yeah, I showed up to the park meeting and, I gave them both a big hug because they were just, they are amazing. 82 years old, they kept up with it, and I do understand that there's a time and a place where you have to give up some of your responsibility. He still is on the planning board though and everything, but I told him now he should be able to come back and enjoy the fruits of his labor. Not that he gets to pick all the apples of the apple trees and everything that he planted there, but he does get to come back and enjoy everything there. So, yeah, and I do have the two other guys that are going to step forward, and I think we're going to make maybe a co-chairman between Rod Blazak and Charlie Cringian. They're willing to keep the motion going, and they both kind of, one of them is out of town and back and forth, so if we use the two of them, I think that we'll have a chairman there at all times. So, no other discussion on it? I think all we need to do is say all those in favor of appointing all of those, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Say nay. Okay, that passes also. Public forum. Anybody in the public have any forum? Anybody in the public? We have Mr. Joe Kent here. I see that he's announced that he's running now for our state representative in this area, so welcome.
Thank you.
And good luck to you. Anybody else have anything to say? Nothing? Addison Township board reports. Anybody on the boards have anything to report?
Okay, one. For those people that were kind of keeping up with the drafts on the lake, Planning Commission denied the draft cutback based on our ordinances, but he's still open with the DNR, and he could dredge through the DNR, but our cutback, our motion was denied to the drafts.
Okay.
I got something. The CBA is looking at the lake situation with small lots being combined for the purpose of putting another building on, that kind of thing. So we had the first hearing of this case last week. So that's something that's going on. You're probably familiar with that situation back on Gravel Ridge Road back in that area.
Yes. I'll leave that up to you guys.
Oh, we're doing a good job on that.
Very good. Anybody else? Okay, legal reports. We don't have any at this time, but Mr. Davis, we've heard good news and we wish him the very best. And
What is the latest? I'm sorry. Is he walking?
Surgery was successful.
Oh, that's
and
good.
I spoke with him today, and he's made 30 steps. So, but he's got a walker. Cody and him are going to have races. Okay.
My money's on the lawyer.
Sorry. I did tell him that Cody had an extra electric scooter too. So, and
That's good.
okay, communications, none. Supervisor's report. I really don't have a whole lot to say, except that we did save money on the fireplace. Like I said, and we're diligently working on this. Jim took the week off, and he'll be back next week. Who's the construction manager there. Sue's doing a really good job, and other than that, I don't have anything else to say.
Is the ZBA meetings complying with the occupant load in the building here?
Yes.
What is the occupant load? Not as many as they had in here. Were they all in this room?
That was the plan.
That was the planning. That was
Or the planning.
Oh, the planning. That's why we have a fire chief to come over here and enforce
That's
that.
Brakefield. You gotta go talk to Brakefield.
Okay, Mr. Supervisor, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Anybody like to second that?
Yeah.
And we have support. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, next meeting, September 21st. Thank you very much.
Same for you.